A happy family of rabbits was hopping in a neat line toward the carrot fields deep in the forest. But along the way, the youngest bunny, Chiku, spotted a magical butterfly with glowing rainbow-colored wings. Mesmerized, he let go of his mother's paw and chased after it. The butterfly disappeared behind a cluster of thick trees. Panting heavily, Chiku finally stopped and looked around. No one was there. Tears filled his big little eyes. "Mama, where are you?" he cried. But the dense forest swallowed his voice in silence. Shaking with fear, Chiku slowly walked deeper into the woods. Soon, he met a group of tiny mice gathering grains. Through tears, he asked, "Have you seen my mommy?" The mice sadly shook their heads. "No, little brother, but maybe someone farther ahead can help you." Further down the path, he met 4 spiky hedgehogs, but they didn't know anything either. As the sun began to set, the forest grew darker and more terrifying. Suddenly, a loud owl screeched from the top of a tree. Startled, Chiku panicked and ran without looking, smashing straight into an old hollow log. The impact sent hundreds of black bats bursting into the sky. Chiku curled up on the ground in terror. Then came the sound of rustling bushes. A long, poisonous snake slowly slithered out toward him. Chiku's heart nearly stopped. He ran again as fast as he could, but he was exhausted, hungry, and barely able to move. That's when a sly fox emerged from the bushes. With a wicked grin, the fox stuffed poor Chiku into a burlap sack and left it outside her house while she went inside to grab a cage. But nearby, hidden under a pile of dirt, a chubby little mole poked his head out of the ground. He had seen everything. The moment the fox disappeared inside, the mole quietly crept over, dragged the heavy sack into his underground tunnel, and hid Chiku safely. When the fox returned with the cage, the sack was gone. She looked around furiously until she spotted the mole standing outside his burrow with a smug smile on his face. The fox charged at him, but the mole quickly slipped underground and tossed the empty sack back at her. The furious fox stomped the ground in anger, but she was far too big to fit inside the narrow tunnel. Then the mole called out to his friend, a little bluebird. "You can fly high above the forest," he said. "Please help find this child's mother." The bluebird immediately took off into the sky. Before long, her sharp eyes spotted Chiku's mother crying desperately nearby. The bird flew back and signaled for Chiku to follow her. The bluebird led the way through the forest while Chiku hurried behind. But suddenly, they came across a giant tree branch that had fallen during a storm. Curious and careless, Chiku jumped onto it without thinking. Crack! The rotten wood snapped apart, and Chiku plunged straight into a raging river below. He splashed wildly, struggling to stay above water. The terrified bluebird rushed back to the mole for help. Without wasting a second, the little mole pulled out several colorful gas balloons from his burrow. Grabbing the strings tightly, he floated up into the air and drifted over the river toward the drowning bunny. "Chiku! Grab my legs!" he shouted. Chiku tightly grabbed the mole's tiny feet. Using the balloons, the brave little mole carried the soaked bunny safely back to shore and reunited him with his mother. The rabbit family hugged each other tightly once again, and together they thanked the little mole for saving their precious child.